let's bring on our last guest. We have Miss Sondra Lee. She's very interesting, wonderful energy. I'm very excited to have her on. Let's see if we can actually get her on the screen here. There she is. Hi,
Hi,
Sondra.
Sondra.
Let me move my camera. There we go.
There you go. Oh, uh-oh. Don't drop it like I did mine earlier. It's not. Oh, now we just got. There's an old movie with Debbie Reynolds that you just reminded me of right now. It's called Mother, and you just reminded me of that movie, and it's one of my favorites.
Oh, heavens.
It's so funny. Oh, heavens. Go. There we go. Now we got you. You're good.
At an angle. Sorry.
There we go. Yay. All right. So here we have Sondra. I'm going to let her tell you, she's got a very interesting career. So I'm going to let her, introduce herself, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Sondra, don't feel bad because Catherine went through all of this at the beginning, pre-show.
Pre-show, yeah. And then I dropped my camera.
Well, thank you so much for having me on this show. And wow, what a great lineup of speakers and topics you had today. It is an honor to be on this show and to be able to wrap it up by talking about the importance of keeping your goals front and center while staying healthy. Both of those things are so important. Our health is paramount because without our health, nothing else matters, as the coronavirus so clearly shows. And one of the biggest threats to our health is the fear swirling around us, because our fear causes stress and lowers our immune system. So if we have time later on, and none of the other guests have covered this, I'd love to share a tool that you always have with you that you can use to quickly shift your nervous system from fight, flight, and freeze mode to the relax, restore, create mode of the parasympathetic nervous system. But first, I want to talk about the importance of keeping your goals front and center and how you can do that more easily. Henry Ford said, "Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal." The problem is that the obstacles are so darn good at grabbing our attention, and we end up feeding those fears with our energy, and guess what? They grow. But if your goal or your dream is something you're in love with, it's far easier to keep it front and center in your mind and not be distracted by the obstacles and fears. And that's why it's so important to start with the end in mind, and that the end be something you would love. To discover what you truly love, ask yourself this one question: what would I love? Don't ask, what do I think I can do? What will the economy let me do? What do other people say I should do? The problem is there's no passion in that. And without passion for your vision, you won't have the rocket fuel you need to push you past the obstacles, your paradigms, the no's that you're going to receive along the way. And the keeps jumping.
Amen. Amen.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
Just ask, what would I love? And then listen to the longing and discontent in your heart and give yourself permission to dream big. Jim Carrey once said, "You can fail at what you don't want, so you might as well take a chance on doing what you love." And since we're focused on career,
it's a great quote. That is a great quote.
It's a mic dropper.
It's so true.
Yeah, that is a mic dropper. I like that.
So since we're focused on career today, imagine what you would love to be doing to express your unique talents. Who would you love to be working with? How do you want to feel while you're doing that? So you can use this one question for everything. Visualize how you would love it to all work out. See yourself receiving multiple job offers. See them bidding for your services. See yourself happily working in that position. See the audience rise to their feet to give you a standing ovation. See yourself healthy and strong regardless of COVID, whatever your dream is. Because Napoleon Hill, who wrote Think and Grow Rich, he said, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve." So the first key to getting what you want is knowing what you want with great clarity, because there's a lot of power in clarity. And then you want to fall in love with that vision and build a burning desire for it so it stays front and center in your mind at all times. It becomes your true north. And then feed that vision with all your energy and attention and starve your fears. So if you build a burning desire for your goal, you'll have no trouble keeping it forefront in your mind.
100%. I agree with that 100%. I think that, Foster and I both have started companies. We've started shows. We've done all the, and you have to have that fire, and you have to have that tenacity.
Yeah.
Right.
Not there.
And you have to dream big, because that's what's going to help you to be successful. And big is different for different people. Don't feel like that because that you want to be a success. Good grief. I know a woman, and she is the best executive assistant you could ever meet in your entire life, and she loves it, and that's her fire, and she takes care of those CEOs, and she's killer. And that's her dream, and she loves it. And she is the best of the best at the best. And I've known people that are politicians and all this. So whatever that looks like for you, that just find the fire for that and just let it drive you.
Right.
And don't be afraid of it.
Catherine's talking about you.
There we go.
That's perfect. There we go. Yay!
All right.
So one thing I wanted to ask you too, Sondra, because you help empower people, right? To especially women. You focus on women. Mm-hmm. And one thing I like to talk about when I talk about the history of me and my career, and I know you've probably experienced this too. And every group is discriminated against, whether it's age, race, or gender, or whatever. Mm-hmm. Everybody has, or the disabled. You have something that people discriminate against you for, and that they target with you. You get targeted with comments and attitudes and all this kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And for gender, mm-hmm. these are the things, and it's with me specifically because of how I am as a person. These are the things I've been told. You're too assertive. You're too loud. You're too opinionated. You're too this, you're too that. You need to do things the way other people do them. You need to comply. And what's really interesting, and I think they say that to men too. Yeah, no, you absolutely do not. But I think they say that to men too, and that's the most insane thing I've ever heard in my life. If you just do what everybody else does, then why are you there? Yeah, that makes no sense. Right. So finding that voice, and I never listened because I was raised by a very strong and empowered woman, and my grandfather and my grandmother both passed that on to her, and their sense of adventure and their sense of strength, and then she passed that on to me, and my father as well, in his own very cool. My dad was my stay-at-home parent, by the way, and had a very big influence on me, but that. You have to remember that however you need to instill that in yourself, if it hasn't been already, all those outside voices are wrong. Okay. Right. You need to be you, and you know what you can do. And just because you're too old, or you're too sick, or you're too female, or you're whatever. And I have more health problems than I literally, this is a true story. I had a life insurance company think that they had my age wrong. Because of all my health problems. They thought I was like in my 70s or 80s. They called me to get my correct birth date. Yeah. Wow. And it doesn't, you just keep on trucking, and you just keep going. So guys, if something is holding you back, whether it's the outside world or yourself, don't let it. Be you. So Sondra, I know that's your area of expertise.
Yeah, actually it's all inside.
Yes.
It's all inside. Everything starts with our thoughts, with our thinking. Right. And our biggest stumbling block is the thoughts up here. Who we believe we are. You know, if you have to believe in yourself. And when you believe in yourself, then everybody else picks up on that. Yes. And conversely, if you don't believe in yourself, they pick up on that. Mm-hmm. So the place to start, this is an inside out world. The conditions never change first. It has to change inside first.
Yes.
You have to find a way to love every part of yourself. Mm-hmm. Every part of yourself.
Yeah.
And believe in yourself. And then you project that that image to whoever you're talking to. And subconsciously, they're thinking, well, this person knows themselves better than I do. So if they believe they can, I guess they can. Or
right. And that's so true.
I'm going to trust your judgment.
Their discrimination will melt away. If you are confident, their discrimination, and everybody discriminates in some way, shape, or form in their brain, whether it's conscious or not, it will melt away. It will go away. And I said, Michaela and I, who was on earlier, who did the psychology segment, we've had this discussion. Let's say you have a physical impairment, because we've had several viewers that have shared that they had that, or that they had crippling anxiety, or whatever. That's just a piece of you. It's no different than your finger. Your finger doesn't define you. Right. I'm not this little finger right here. I have all the rest of this. That is just one little piece. That is just one little tiny piece of who you are. And it's
not even the essence of who you are.
No.
If you lose a hand, you say, I lost a hand. You don't say, I lost part of me. I didn't lose me. I lost part of my hand. That's not who you are in essence.
Right.
And it's discovering who you truly are. That's where your power lies. Yeah. And then it doesn't matter. Eleanor Roosevelt said, all the water in the world can't drown you unless you let it inside you. And she also said, what other people think of me is none of my business.
I love that quote. That's one of my favorite quotes.
It only matters what I think of me. My opinion is way more important than your opinion of me.
That's right. It's so true. And Foster, I mean, in your career, I'm sure you've experienced all kinds of craziness and people's opinions and all of this. And guys, first of all, I'm going to throw this right on out there. Foster is one of the shining examples of just breaking every box and all of that, every rule, all of that, and just goes for it. Just whatever the man went to an all women's college at one point. Okay. He did. And I mean, poor Foster, I'm sure it was so difficult for you.
23 years old, I with my arm to do it, right?
Right. Yeah. I'm sure it was so traumatic for you. But the point is, you don't have to fit into the box. And so what's your advice with that, Foster? What's your take? I mean, you've had this wonderfully successful career. What's your feedback into all of this?
There was a time in my corporate career, which lasted a while, we put it that way, that I thought that I had to do what everybody else did. I had to follow the rules. Yeah, you got to follow the rules. Yeah. But we are uniquely made. And I think Sondra's gonna smile when I say this. We all have these gifts or something inside of us that's driving us in a direction, and if we don't entertain that, we'll never get out of the rut, the wheel rut, in order to do something. Right. Yeah, we crash a few times, or we think we crash. But
that's right.
Me, when I crashed, I learned more about the
failure is just it's just feedback.
Right. Yeah.
Failed somewhere between 5,000 and 10,000 times in his pursuit of the electric light bulb. Yeah. And somebody asked him, well, how did you keep going with all those failures? He says, I never had a failure. That was just feedback. He was saying, no, not that way. Try another way.
This way. Yeah.
Hey, Sondra, you know what my big thing was? I went in my formative years, all the way up to probably I was about 21, 22. I was a huge introvert. I was absolutely afraid to speak in front of people.
And isn't that unbelievable? Knowing him now, and he runs multiple groups, runs multiple shows, and you can't even fathom that now. You can't even.
The people
you can't even picture it.
Going, that Foster is the biggest liar.
Yeah, they're going false statements. They're saying lies you tell, Foster, lies you tell.
Anybody in that little hometown where I'm from don't even know who I am now. When I go.
And that's the wonderful thing. Like when I take clients through the Dream Builder program, and they're pursuing their goal or their dream or whatever it is. Achieving the dream is wonderful. Don't get me wrong. But even more wonderful than achieving the dream is who you become in the process of achieving the dream. Who you discover yourself to be. Wow. I had no idea I could do that.
Right.
Like you were saying about the folks in your hometown, who you've become in the process of pursuing that dream that's the biggest gift of all.
100%. 100%.
Baby boy.
Pardon me?
I'm still Ruth Williams as a baby boy.
I tell you, I've had more epiphanies, to your point, Sondra, more epiphanies going through running a business and starting a show. And now I'm, God help Congress, going to run for office in a couple of years. I think because when you see need, you just sometimes have to jump in. And I think that you just learn so much about yourself and it changes who you are professionally, and you shouldn't be afraid of that. You should embrace it and you should run towards it. And one of the things for me, I've been told by other recruiters when they see how I price and how I do, they go, "You're insane. What's wrong with you?" And I said, I said, I know what I'm doing. I said, and I am catering my business to a certain clientele and to the people I want to be helping, because I'm doing this because I love it. I'm not here to try to be a millionaire. I'm not any of that. I do want to make money, don't get me wrong, because I want to take care of my family and all of that, but I'm here to help. And that's my goal. Even with this show, I've had people go, "Oh, you can make this so profitable." And I said, "Why? I'm here to help people." So we're putting that back and getting the scholarships and doing stuff like that. But you learn who you are going through these kind of processes and connecting to the right people and forming those bonds. My soul is fed doing this and talking to you and Foster and Anna and Craig and Trevor and all the other people that run here.
When you find what you love doing, it gives you so much life. The monetary reward is nice. It's sort of a confirmation that you're giving service. But the biggest reward, in my opinion, is the internal reward. How it makes me feel. I mean, I love doing what I'm doing because of the transformation that I see in my clients. Not for the money. It's not that. It's when they say, a client recently said that her daughter said, "I don't know what it is that you're doing, but it's because of your work with Sondra. Keep doing it. You are different. You're good." And the ripple effects. I worked with one gal who was an educator at our local women's prison, and the ripple.
That's interesting.
The changes in her rippling out to these women inmates. I mean, that's why I do this stuff.
And to that point, don't you have something that you wanted to announce to our audience?
Yes, absolutely. For the first 10 people that contact me, either on my email, which I think you left all that information, right? It's Sondra@InnerRadianceRevealed.com, or by going to my website. The first 10 people, I will give you a free 1 hour, I call it a discovery session. In this hour, I help you get clear on where you are right now and the challenges that are the biggest challenges you're facing, where you would absolutely love to be. And then we talk about the next best steps that'll take you in the direction of your dream.
And guys, this is invaluable. And by the way, her contact information is in the comments. And this, for a lot of you that are asking us all these questions and you're trying to find your focus, which direction am I pointing? Do this. Go over there. Go that way and talk to Sondra. Seriously.
Clarity is power.
Yes.
If you are really clear on what you want, then the universe can give that to you. But if you have a fuzzy idea of what you want, it's like, you know, I want a nice house.
You're lost.
I can't even help. Catherine, I can't even help.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah, right. Yeah. What is a nice house? Where is it? What does it look like? How much is it? Yeah.
Exactly. I want my perfect job. Okay, so it'd be like giving Amazon.com in order. Well, send me a dress that I'd like. I would help if you told me the size.
Cool. Yeah.
You know, there's the details to work with. You know.
Yeah.
The universe wants to give it all to us. The universe has no inclination to withhold anything, but it can't give us something that we aren't clear on.
Yeah,
100%. And
clarity is paramount. That's the
100%.
One key is to get clear. And the only question you want to ask yourself is, what would I love? Not what do I think I can have? What do I think I deserve? What do my friends and family think I should want or do? No. Let them do their own
smile
dream.
on our face.
Yeah.
What would you love? Because when you tap into that and you commit to that and you fall in love with that, then as William Murray once said, then providence moves too. When one commits themselves, then providence moves too. And all
100%
things start to happen. The right people that you need to meet, boom, pop into your life. The needed funding drops in like out of the blue.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the universe starts doing backflips in service of your dream, but only if you're committed. You can't put
100%.
and say, well, I'll see how this works. Doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work. Well, we're going to have to wrap up, but 100%. And guys, connect to Sondra. Take advantage of this beautiful opportunity that she's giving you. Connect to her on LinkedIn. Connect to her. We dropped her email. Email her. Reach out. She's a wonderful, wonderful spirit and a great asset. Definitely connect to her.
One more thing, I have a free Power of a Vision workshop coming up next Tuesday in the evening. It's free, and they can find more information and register for that on my website too.
Awesome. Phenomenal. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, Sondra. We really appreciated you being here.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Oh, and send me that Jim Carrey quote. I want that Jim Carrey quote. So you've got to send that to me.
I'm going to say that on the radio today.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.